Hello! Welcome back, everybody, to Dress to Quest. I'm Nathan. I'm the DM here, and thank you for joining us this evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you may be in the world. And let's go over to our players so they can give their intros, and then we'll do a very quick recap and jump right into this because we left off with a pretty dicey situation last time. So, starting with Chris.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris, and I play Ayize Marley, the human wizard. And I'm looking
Excellent.
forward to tonight's aquatic game.
Excellent, excellent. Next up, we have Erica.
All right, hi. Uh, my name's Erica. I play Rin Swiftbow, Wood Elf, Beastmaster Ranger. Believe that's all the things. I'm excited for today.
How are finals going?
Oh, I'm done with them, which is great.
Yay!
Yay, I survived. I
Good.
came out on the other side.
Good. Break is here, I hope, for you. Next up, we have Amy.
Hi everybody, I'm Amy. I play Chinyar Yuri, and I am an Eldrin or Aladrin, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And I am in the winter season, which is why I'm so blue. And looking forward to tonight.
Yay! Excellent. Next, we have Eric.
Hey, yeah, so I'm Eric Wahlberg. I'm playing Bulwark the Great.
Oh no! Well, his introduction was too powerful for the internet, and we lost him. So let's do. Hopefully, he comes back. Space, if you don't mind introducing yourself right now, you are listed as Ulrich.
How can I even follow that? I'm Space. I play Aspen, the Asimar Hexblade Warlock Divine Soul Sorcerer. And I'm excited for tonight.
Excellent. Let me scramble here to fix this. You're going to see two of me for a second, but you'll just have to deal with that while I... so I'm going to be Ulrich for a second. Last but not least, we have Josh or Winged Horizon.
Hi everybody, I'm Josh. I play, oh my gosh, my brain just went blank. I play Shifty Capone, the real Malone. Likes to go by Captain Capone, and I'm a rogue, arcane trickster rogue. I keep wanting to say bard. I don't know why.
I mean, sometimes you have very bard-like tendencies, or Shifty does. Awesome. Well, let's go back really quick to let Eric finish his introduction, since he broke the internet with that first one, if you don't mind.
That was a rehearsal, right? We're not live yet?
Yeah. We'll fix it in post, as always, because that's what we do.
Thank you, Nathan. Okay, so I'm Eric Wahlberg. I'm a 3rd level Rune Knight, 3rd level College of Swords Bard, and I am currently swimming with some really nasty creatures in the ocean right by my party who cannot swim to save me.
Excellent indeed. Well, with that, let's...
Pam?
Yeah.
Would you mind an indulgence, please?
Of course.
Thank you. Shark bait! Boo-ha-ha!
Thanks, William Dafoe.
Yes. Thanks, Pixar and Finding Nemo for that. All right. Well, next up, let's do a quick recap here as we jump right back into the story. So, last we left off, our heroes had finished pushing through the Sahuagin fortress. They split up for a period of time as Shifty continued to explore the underwater hallways, while the rest of the party went upstairs to deal with a group of Sahuagin that that Chinyar had heard lurking within the upper halls. As the group up top dealt with the Sahuagin handily, Shifty was able to collect some more intel, finding a secret compartment with hidden essentially scrolls. They're giant shells with engravings on them, and one of these shells had that symbol that you keep seeing pop up throughout this adventure. Rejoining the group, Shifty, you all found a surviving slave that was barely clinging to life, who seemed to tell you of A couple of things. One, they mentioned Thornhold, a city that is south of Saltmarsh, not terribly far south from where you are now. Seems that that's where he came from. And it seems he came here with a group, another group, to investigate this place. And he, before losing consciousness, shouted out that they knew they were coming. The Sahuagin knew they were coming. It seemed to have been a trap. With all of that information, the final thing they were able to get out was that their companions, one of them had a beautiful set of armor that was very precious to them, and they asked that you find it so you could return it to their family, which you managed to do. You found a secret compartment with a lot of great loot within, a couple of pieces of fine armor, some potions, and things of that sort. While all this was happening, Shifty continued to scout off this upper layer and went to the entrance where you had entered in from to see where Oceanus may be, the sea elf companion that was coming back with an extra boat. Upon going out and looking out towards your ship, you saw the tiny shape of Oceanus about a quarter mile away, rowing towards you. And before you were about to turn away to head back inside, you saw something else, some movement in the water. So you decided to dive in, Shifty, and swim out towards Oceanus, and very quietly approaching the boat, you saw that there were 7 Sahuagin following behind in the water, looking up at the rowboat that was splashing in the water, going towards your meeting point. You acted quickly, Shifty, casting an illusion of that symbol, which seemed to draw all the Sahuagin away for a time. The rest of you rushed out to the front entrance, unsure of where Shifty may be, worried for his safety. And Aspen, casting a message spell, he managed to get a hold of Shifty, communicating the peril that he was in and that Oceanus was in. Volric acted quickly, leaping into the water with his Cloak of the Manta Ray, diving under the waves, swimming out about 30 feet, and waiting there as bait to draw the Sahuagin in. As Shifty watched the Sahuagin dart towards the new sense of sound. Shifty, trying desperately to keep up, lost sight of them, but could hear the sound of Volric's armor clinking within the water. And as Volric was floating there above the dark abyss, waiting for what was to come, he saw the dark shapes of the Sahuagin come out of the gloom, swimming quickly towards him. As he braced himself, he caught movement below and looked down just in time to see a Sahuagin rocketing up towards him, straight up towards his feet, about 30 to 40 feet below you. And that is where we're going to pick up, with Volric down in the water, all of your companions up on shore, waiting to see what may happen. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with, we're going to roll initiative for everybody. But we are going to start with just Volric, the Sahuagin, and Shifty, because you were the only ones under the waves that are kind of aware of exactly what's going on here. The rest of you are up top. All you see is just the kind of choppy water before you, but no sense of what's happening below. So let's do it. I'm going to pull up the turn order here, and we're going to go through this. Let's hope that this loads up.
You're going to put characters on the map so we can click on them to get the initiative.
There we go. Okay, yeah. I see Aspen and Volric are already on the initiative order. Okay, cool. I'm going to roll initiative for my NPCs, and then I will make sure that everybody got their initiative.
Oh, there I am in the corner.
There we go. Oh boy, uh-oh. Okay, here we go. Shifty, you were about 100 feet away from Volric's last position, is where we left off. So, let's see, did everybody roll? I am seeing everybody slowly trickle in here. Perfect, excellent. While that happens, I think I can jump over straight to Volric, because we have an interesting development here as we all rolled initiative. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
beat an 8, sucker.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start this. Let's kick this thing off, shall we? Let me. All right.
DM, do you see my initiative? Because it's giving me an error message, and I'm not sure if it came through.
That's a good question. I do not see your initiative. Do you want to just give it to me and I'll add you manually?
Sure, it was a 14.
14, okay. You have been added, and it looks like the only person I'm missing on the initiative, for some reason I'm not seeing Aize.
I think there's some problem with the map. Check the
And
chat.
he's not seeing his token.
Oh, you're not?
I'm seeing a white map. Hang on. Let me log out and in again.
Okay, no problem. Alright, well, while Aize does that, because, as I said, this is going to just be between the Sahuagin, Volric, and Shifty at first. So, first up, Volric, sorry, not Volric, Shifty, you actually rolled the highest initiative, so you get to go first. You are 100 feet away. You can't, you can only see with your dark vision out to a range of 60 feet. I believe you lost sight of... Let me actually check something. You know what?
Yeah, Volric is 30 feet from shore, and I'm 100 feet from Volric.
Correct. So you basically are about 5 feet more off of the map than where you are right now, Shifty. But from your position, as you are trying to keep up and swim towards them, they slowed down a bit before approaching Volric. So you managed to catch up, and just up ahead, you can see the shapes of some Sahuagin up ahead of you. So what would you like to do? And keep in mind, if you are stealthing, I believe you move at half speed when stealthing, if I'm not mistaken. So just keep that in mind. Unless rogues have something that I'm missing.
That is a good point. I don't think that you... Actually, I don't remember that, if that's true or not, for rogues. But I will go with it, and I will... I don't see Volric yet, right?
No.
All right, so then I'm gonna, but I do know he's probably in the water, I'm guessing. I think he said he was coming.
Yeah, you can hear the sound of
10,
his armor.
15. All right, so when I get to here, 15, I see them, the whole line here, correct?
Yes, you do.
And I see that one attacking him.
Is that 60 feet away? You cannot see that one. You can't even see Volric.
I can't see that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't. Let's see how big my fog cloud goes.
Okay.
Fog cloud is 120 feet, and it is a 20-foot radius sphere. All right.
There you go.
Thank you. All right. I'm going to go ahead, and they're just all going to go out of it anyways, I think. So it's not going to do much of a thing here. So I'll skip that idea.
Okay.
I'm going to keep sneaking up. Let me go ahead and roll my... I know you're going to make me roll it anyways. I'll go ahead and roll my stealth.
Yeah, please.
Since I'm so close to them.
Yeah, bonus. You can use your bonus action to do that.
Okay. This will be my bonus action here by stealthing.
Correct. So you rolled a 14 for your stealth. Let me see something. As you slowly start to swim towards them, yeah, with a 14, you see a number of them turn at the new source of sound. 14 was not high enough, so they are aware that you are there. So you do see some of them are splitting their attention between you and something else, which you imagine is Volric.
Okay. Well, in that case, that kind of changes things. So much for sneaking up and poking them. I'm going to see if I'm not sure if they see me yet, so I'm going to try another silent image to see if I can
Okay.
trick them and keep moving, I guess, in. Oh, let me get this off here.
Sure.
I'm going to head probably move in this direction here, but I'm going to try to see if I can trick them. So I'm going to do a silent image.
Okay. What do you create with your silent image?
So before I created like the symbol of that thing that I keep seeing over and over again, and it seemed to work really, really well. But I also want to make sure that they don't see, I want to make sure that they don't see me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a symbol. I'm gonna make myself turn myself into a dolphin.
Okay. So
A moving dolphin.
you create an illusion of a dolphin in front of where you are.
So
you'll
need to roll a DC 15 spell save and wisdom.
Okay.
Excuse me. Let's see. During the is a successful intelligent investigation check. Okay, investigation check, intelligence.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do that really quick.
Against my image to see if they are fooled by my dolphin image, and I can move the dolphin and make it look like he's actually moving.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we'll say this. You are slowly swimming up, and then you realize they start to turn. You see one of them like tense and start to turn in your direction, and you cast, thinking, you cast a silent image of the dolphin in front of you, and as they all turn and look, they see this silent image of a dolphin just slowly swimming through the water, and you just see some of them kind of, and then they all go back and focus on what they were originally doing and start to lunge forward. So, Shifty, that was your bonus action, and did you use all your movement? You were stealthing, so it would have been half your movement.
Yep, it looks like I used all my movement. I think that's right around 15.
Okay, excellent. So you managed to fool them with the silent image. They don't seem to be concerned with the dolphin that's swimming through the water right now, so they all turn their attention back towards Volric. Okay.
I do get to take what was my bonus action?
That was stealth, yeah. So.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
That takes us to all of the Sahuagin, which unfortunately, Volric, they did roll higher than you. So as you are floating there in the water, getting ready to flee, the one below you comes soaring up towards you. Are you missing any of your hit points?
No, I did my accent surge after the last battle, so I'm fully healed.
Okay, so this is not going to be at advantage as the one below you comes flying straight up towards you and is going to attack you with its spear straight out in front of it. So here we go. That is a... the highest roll was a 17. Does a 17 hit?
No, sir. 19 armor class.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so it careens off of your plate mail, and now you are deflecting the spear from the Sahuagin that's right in your face. And then all of the other ones are going to use their movement and dash as they come swimming with great speed towards you. They have 80 feet of movement with their dash. So they come and just surround you, Volric. All of you up top, you start to see the water like churning, like there are many, many large fish under the water just as they quickly dart towards Volric hungrily. So Volric, we are playing in 3 dimensions technically, so
Yes.
they are encircling you. You are...
I kind of figured.
Yeah, so
if there was thought balloons in my head, he would say, "Nah, I was hoping to cause a distraction. It worked a little too well."
and that does indeed take us to Volric. So you are surrounded, Volric. What do you do?
Right. I use my bonus action, and I will use my last Giant's Might, and I will grow to 9 feet tall, kind of pushing them back a little bit by my new size.
Oh, awesome.
I'll take my sword back and swing it in wide diagonal arcs behind me in a flurry of action using my last bardic inspiration for my blade flourish using slashing flourish.
Amazing.
So first thing, I will just get an attack because that's my action. So I'm going to make some rolls now. All right, make a roll. I'm going to attack. If any of them look more armored than the others, I'm not going to attack that guy. Do they all have the same armor class?
In this quick moment looking around, The only one that looks to be substantially armored is the leader, that captain of the group. The others look pretty much like they're all have roughly the same type of armor.
Okay, so I'm not going to attack the captain.
Okay.
So I will attack. Let's see. Go. Wish me luck. There it goes. All right, 19. Ignore the +3.
Yes, the 19 definitely hits. If you're just attacking one of the regular Sahuagin.
Yes. So it's 7 for my Giant's Might and my fighting style, the one-handed. I forget what it's called. It's the duelist style, the dueling style, the one-handed style. Anyway, so 14 points plus a D6 because of the flourish. So I'm going to D6 real quick.
Yeah.
He's going to take, what's that, extra 6.
Ooh.
Okay, and then slashing flourish automatically does 1d6 damage to everybody within 5 feet of me.
That's
Aside from
awesome.
the guy I just did. Yes. So that's why the description of the slashing motion. Now, hopefully I won't roll a 1, but either way, it look cool. I rolled a 6.
Oh my
Yeah, 6 points.
So, awesome. With this huge flurry through the water, you hit all of them for 6 damage. That's awesome. The one that you first struck, you lop it clean in half as guts and blood goes throughout the water. All of you up top start to see red emerging from this writhing torrent under the water. Let me apply this damage to the rest so that I don't forget. That was an incredible move there, Volric. What do you do next?
Okay, so because as we talked about on the phone, because he's Blade Flourish, I get an extra 10 feet of land movement.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my 30 feet of swimming movement to swim away, but not before I use an action surge, and I'm going to dodge.
Oh,
Well, actually,
yeah, okay.
But, if I was smart, which I will be now, I'll use an action surge. I will instead. What's the other thing I'd want to do?
I don't know. What are you gonna do?
Disengage. I will
Disengage. Okay, there you go.
All hit me, right? Yeah. So I'll disengage, so they don't get an attack on me. I'll move 30 feet through the water, and then as I get to the precipice of the shore, I'm going to kind of leap through the air with the extra foot of movement. You could decide 5, 10 feet, whatever it is. I will be on the shore, wet, turn around,
Yeah.
ready for them to come out.
So all of you see this sudden wake of something large under the water come flying towards you, and then out of the water, Volric, like Aquaman essentially, comes flying out, lands behind you all, dripping wet. Under the water, we saw all the Sahuagin reeling from that flurry of sword swipes, and as they reached out to try to grab you, Volric, you just dart away, leaving Bubbles behind.
Sorry, Bubbles. I'll miss you.
All right. That was essentially the surprise round. So now we get to go to the top of the round, and everybody gets to go down through the order now. So going back to Shifty with this little image of the dolphin swimming in front of you. What do you do, Shifty? You can't see any of the Sahuagin from where you are. They are all, I think, 60 feet. Yeah, they're more than 60 feet away. So what would you like to do? Oh, you're muted?
I just realized I gave that vision ball my statistics.
That's okay.
Shifty, I'm guessing he still hears the commotion, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And he does know, like Warwick said, he's coming in after him, correct?
Yeah, and you would have heard basically a bunch of thrashing water. You would have heard that like low, muffled underwater sound of Volric going, and then a bunch of like of the Sahuagin. But you have no idea what's going on. But there's clearly combat happening.
I'm gonna go 5. And the boat, has Oceanus safely gotten the boat to shore yet or not?
No, I would say Oceanus is the boat actually goes a little slower than your swimming speed. So Oceanus is, we'll say, he was about where you
Right here?
were.
Right
we'll
here.
say he's about 120 feet away from shore at this point.
Okay. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. And do I see them from here?
Yes, you do.
I have to use them. Okay. Do I see Vorik in there? I don't think I do. No.
I doubt it. There is right now the water is clouded with blood and bubbles and thrashing. You could use your action to make a perception roll to like.
I think I'm gonna use my
down.
full action.
Okay,
I'm gonna use my full action to do a double to go double my speed to be able to try to get this to shore.
Okay, go for it.
So that's another 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. And then from there, do I see anything if I was to use my cutting action, which is in a bonus action pretty much?
Yes, but you can only use your cunning action for stealth, dash, or disengage.
So that was for the dash then. I used my dash already.
Oh, okay.
So then I have my regular action then.
Yeah,
and
you can use
perception.
your ready action. Go for it. You can use perception.
All right, let's see here. So I can't see if I don't know, see anything if I'm soaring. I have to use the actual action to turn my head. Correct?
So the reason I'm saying you'd have to use your actual action to make perception is because it is a chaotic mess over there. There's blood in the water and like thrashing. Whether or not you know Volric is in there is hard to say. It's like you don't
get to re-roll this with my lucky feat.
Okay.
And so if it's a re-roll, does that mean it just goes to the other one, or I just re-roll
You can,
it?
yeah, that's fine with me. Yeah, so a 17.
Okay.
That means moving forward that will always be your re-roll if you're okay with that. So the 17 is enough that you can see in this chaotic mess of bodies, you realize that there's this big empty space in the middle of and you kind of pick up on Volric probably used his giant growth that you've seen him do many times, and you don't see Volric anywhere in sight, so he must have dashed away. And you see all the Sahuagin kind of reeling from this and turning to go after the direction that wherever Volric went. However, since you use your movement bonus and then use your action to do perception, you were not stealthing. So some of the Sahuagin, not all of them, I'll say only one of them, turns and sees this tiny little halfling. Unless you can move your silent image with you that full speed. I don't know how.
I can.
You can?
I can use the silent image with me. It actually looks like I'm just moving. Just
that's awesome.
silently. It looks like I'm moving, like walking or flipping my tail.
Okay, then never mind. Yeah, well, one of them does look over in your direction and just sees this dolphin, and then starts to go towards the direction of Volric. So with that, it takes us to the Sahuagin. All of you on shore, kind of waiting there as Volric lands next to you all. Volric, do you say something as you land next to everybody?
Yeah. The party's coming!
And as he says that, bursting from the water with a flurry of teeth and these pitch black eyeballs of the Sahuagin, they all start leaping out of the water towards you. So, I'm going to have this one first, 40 feet of movement, and yeah, we'll burst forth from the water right in front of Aspen and Bert, coming up, jabbing the spear up towards Aspen, and the other ones, 40 feet, they're going to leap out onto the shore, landing on the stone. This one's going to just swim up and burst up out of the water with its spear out. This one as well is going to burst up and try to hit Shenyar, and that one as well. So all of these Sahuagin suddenly start bursting out of the water. A couple of them actually, much like Volric, come rocketing out of the water, landing on the stone with wet slaps of their feet. And these ones have to dash to get into position, which they will do. And then the other ones all will make attacks. Okay. Let's go down the line. So we have Aspen actually standing right at the edge of the water. So Aspen, I think these two are going to go for you. The two kind of to the north of you. Here we go. Are you missing any hit points?
No.
Okay, so these will be straight rolls. We'll start with this guy. Here we go. They get to make 2 attacks, bite and spear. Okay. So a 17 to hit?
No.
Okay, so that deflects off of your armor. The captain is going to make 3 attacks on you, Aspen, as they burst from the water. Actually, I need to slightly retcon something, but let me do this first. So 3 attacks on you, Aspen. 2, 3. They are not flanking. Okay, so the highest roll was a 16, so I don't think that hits. Chenyar, we got 2 on you. Here we go. This is a bite and a spear. 20.
Armor class 18, so you know.
Okay, so 22 hits you with the spear. As the spear jabs into you, a bit of the blood coming out into the water, and you see the eyes kind of go wide as the other one starts to.
So how much damage did I take from the spear?
You took 3 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And actually, yeah, the thing. No, I'll just keep going. Okay, here we go. And then here comes the next attack from the other one, Chenyar. This one does have advantage now because of the blood from your wound. So a 19 to hit.
That hits.
4 piercing damage as they clamp down with their mouth, and then they pull you forward with the spear out, getting a natural 20, dealing.
Can you give me a second? I want to check something.
Yep.
If I can do this for myself.
Oh yeah.
When you or a creature suffers a critical hit, so I'll use my Sentinel at Death's Door, and I will negate the 20.
Awesome. So as it pulls you into the spear, whatever power you're tapping into, there seems to be this black, shadowy tendril that kind of shoots out from you and pulls the spear a little out of the way so that it just does a glancing blow, dealing 5 points of piercing damage to you, Chenyar. That is the Sahuagin. Oh wait, they dashed, right? Okay. That takes us to. I'm just gonna have them go on their turns. That takes us to Chenyar.
Oh, Chenyar does not like to be hit.
Yeah.
All right. So Chenyar, yeah, she's not in a good spot. She doesn't want to be surrounded by these guys. But she's got to stand her ground. So what she's going to do is she is going to say a couple words of arcane and in Sylvan,
Okay.
and she is going to bane 4 of them.
Awesome.
This one, this one, this one, and this one. The ones surrounding her and the ones surrounding. Well, actually, I'll divide it up. The 2 surrounding her. The one. I guess he's this guy.
This one? Oh, this one?
Yeah, whichever one was the captain.
Yeah. Okay.
The one with the 3 hits.
Yep.
She's baning him, and one of the ones around Volric.
Okay. I'll use this symbol, sure, for Bane. And then the ones
This
around
four.
Bulwark.
Yes.
Okay.
So she will cast a bane.
So I got 3 there. Is this one
Second
good?
level. Let me see what you got.
This.
There's 4 of them. Yep,
Yep.
all together.
That, and that.
Actually, no, it'll be the 2 next to me because I have a weaker armor class, I think, than Volric. This is Volric's armor class.
Got it.
Right.
I will do that. There you go. Those are the 4 that are baned. As you channel that energy, they all seem to kind of wince at some source tapping into them, and you see little wisps of kind of dark smoke trailing off of them.
Yeah, dark clouds seem to circle around them
Cool.
as she lets out that last Sylvan word, and they are now baned, which is a D4, but they have to make a charisma saving throw.
Okay. They have to make a charisma save, right? That
Yes,
makes
so
sense.
it's a 15 DM.
Excellent. All right, that was your action. Any movement or bonus?
She's not going to move because she's going to end up getting attacks of opportunity. Let me see if there's a bonus action I want to do. And by the way, when she casts Bane,
Mhm.
what she's going to do is she's going to take a piece of the stab wound.
Oh yeah.
She's going to take a drop of blood from her own body and hold it up and the pinch of blood as she casts the spell.
Oh, that's
She'll
super
go
cool.
like that, and it'll separate out. It'll become black as she separates it out and says her Sullivan word.
That is super cool.
Yeah, she will kick off spiritual weapon as her bonus action. Wait a minute, let me double check that. Is there anything I did that was a bonus action? No, spiritual weapon. So I will cast spiritual weapon.
Okay.
As a bonus action. And I will place the spiritual weapon. Oops. It actually it rolled. I don't know why, but it did.
That's okay.
So it rolled a 1. So,
Oh, okay. That does not
but
hit.
that doesn't hit. But I will put my spiritual weapon for the next time. Let me put it next to this guy in front of me.
Okay. So, what does your spiritual weapon look like?
It actually, let's see. Does Chinyar's spiritual? It looks very similar to a scimitar.
Okay.
and it also glows.
Excellent. So this glowing.
But it glows with instead of blue glow, it's a very dark, shadowy type glow.
Cool. Okay, so this kind of shadow blade of a scimitar appears.
Yeah, it doesn't
behind.
fully look like a scimitar, but it's sort of like is the image of shadowy scimitar.
Excellent. So Chinyar, as you do that and it appears, that takes us to Aspen, who has these two Sahuagin popping out of the water trying to bite and stab you. What do you do, Aspen?
I'm gonna pull a book from Shinyar, pull a page of Shinyar's book, and I'm gonna cast Bless on myself, Volric, Rin, and Shinyar.
Okie dokie. Yourself, Volric, Rin, and Chinyar. Okay, all of you are blessed. You get to add a d4 to your attacks and saves.
And what am I gonna do? I'm gonna Hexblaze curse this guy.
The captain?
Yes.
Okay, and that just happens,
as my
right?
bonus. Yeah, as my bonus action, I'm gonna Hexblaze curse him.
Okay.
So now, when I attack on the 19 or 20, that's a critical hit for me.
Nice. Okay.
I can't move, so I'm gonna just prepare myself.
Okay. The hex appears over them. What do you think it looks like? The hex, is it like some kind of?
It would be my mother's symbol. So the sword with the wings. And I kind of like just press it into his flesh, and it sears into his flesh.
Nice. Okay, so as that appears in front of you, and you kind of jut your hand quickly forward, that symbol into the chest and starts to burn.
Yes.
They trying to reel in pain to get away from it. What attribute are you hexing?
This is Hexblaze curse, not hex.
Oh, got it. Okay. All right, that takes us to Rin. You are up.
All right. Hopefully we could finish this one off. So, with Bert the giant frog, I'm just gonna go ahead with my bonus action first.
Okay.
He's going that blue Sahuagin. He's going to go ahead and try to bite him.
Okay. The captain.
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
Captain is screwed.
Hopefully his luck translates in his amphibian form. Okay.
All right.
18. That does hit. That hits.
Yep. You do a D4 plus 5 damage. For some reason, it didn't come up. And there's also a grapple, automatic grapple. Nathan.
Nice.
DC 13
Sorry.
on his turn, of course.
So
Go ahead.
No. You describe it.
I was just gonna say, like, after all of that, just like you look down and you see just Bert jump up and just try to chew on his arm.
Bites onto his arm, and now the captain is like trying to pull away as this massive frog is like slowly slurping the arm down into its mouth. You see the captain's eyes kind of going wide and darting around, seeing all of these people here, and they seem to be a bit taken aback. How much damage did that do?
It's a D4 plus 5.
Okay.
All right. This, and I assume I have to manually do that because.
Yeah, for some reason it didn't come out.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, just in case it wasn't showing up on mine.
So it's 7 points.
7
Plus
points of damage. Nice. So the arm slowly being pulled into Bert's mouth. That was your bonus action, Rin.
Yes, mostly just because I was excited to see what that would look like. Okay, now Rin, looking towards the ones surrounding her and Aspen and Volric. So first the one in front of her and Aspen. She's going to shoot.
Okay, go for
As
it.
soon as I stop closing that darn window. All right. Not that. There you go.
Yeah, -5 won't hit.
I'm just gonna keep closing.
My God,
clicking
look at-
things.
She's doing it again.
So Rin, this is at disadvantage.
Oh yeah. I forget.
Just roll again. That you still have you have a 21 for your.
Yeah, we'll say 21 points of damage if this hits. So go ahead and roll again and see if you hit.
Normal or disadvantage?
So yeah, this is the
or
disadvantage.
just normal. That'll be
roll,
the
yeah.
disadvantage one.
Yeah.
All right, got it.
So
Whichever's lower.
Yeah.
So okay, so 21 points of damage to the one in front of Aspen. Immediately the arrow just sinks in through the forehead and it just slurps below the surface. It is dead.
Haha, who's the bait now?
I just look at Ren and I'm just like, you are always the answer to our problems.
I'm just
Chinyar just
hoping,
looks on very proud. She's like,
like Rin looks really proud and is like, oh yeah, there's one behind her too, and then she still has turns around.
All right, go ahead and roll that attack with disadvantage. Okay, so it's 23 minus.
Minus
I mean,
3.
yeah, it still hits. Go ahead. So how much damage? That's 16 points of damage. Woo! That is exactly the hit points that creature has. So with two quick, like Legolas, they fall down. The blood starts to spill out onto the stone. They're both dead, Rin. Is that your turn?
Yes, that is everything.
Okay, Volric, you're up.
Okay, so I'm looking at the battle map now. I think I see 7 Salawagan. I do, right?
You do.
Okay, I say, don't let it escape! And I'm going to reach out and grapple this guy.
The captain?
So he's the one who's already grappled
He's
by...
already grappled, yeah.
How about this guy?
So that is the captain. This one here, that's Bert. That's directly next to you.
Oh, that's Bert!
Yeah.
Okay, wait, 1, 2, 3, I only see 6.
These are well, one of them is dead in the water.
Already killed one?
Yeah. When you fled,
Oh.
one of them died. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I apologize.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
you should feel bad for killing the Sahuagin.
Okay, cool.
terrible about killing the enemy.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead then and can I push past Bert and grab the one to Bert's left or not? If that's a trouble. Actually, you know what? That's fine. I'll go ahead then. I just look at Aize and I say, don't let any leave, and I'll grapple the one behind me.
Okay.
This guy.
Got it. Okay,
Okay.
so they make a contested strength check with you. They got a 5, so I doubt. I mean,
Oh,
maybe you will roll lower than that, but I doubt it.
Well, if I roll a 1, you'll lose. I'll lose.
You have advantage
no,
though, right, in your giant form?
I do, yes.
Okay. Well, let's see. Maybe you'll roll 2 1s. That would be remarkable. No. So easy enough. You grab onto that one. They are unable to move as they start squirming.
That's my turn.
That's your turn. Okay, Aize, you are up.
DM, just to also let you know, the D4 applies to saving throws as well as attacks.
Okay, understood.
Launch the fireball. I landed on the left-hand side.
Okay,
4 points of damage to the 2 Sahagin who are located there.
24 points of damage. Okay, so they were going to make their dex saves. Maybe they'll be able to survive this. We'll see.
DC 16.
Minus a D4.
Minus D4. Well, one roll the 4, one roll the 10. So they do not, even with the D4. But as they attempt to flee, the fireball explodes and they are incinerated. Both of them are destroyed. My God.
Wow.
You guys. All right, Aize. Is there anything else with you would like to do with your turn as that fireball erupts in around them?
Let's see. There's only two left. There's the one that Bert is grappling, and the other one that Volric is grappling.
That's right.
Okay. I will walk 5, 10, 15, 20. And I'll move up archive.
Okay.
And I do yell out at Rin, said, it would be great if we could take that guy alive. And I point at the captain.
Okay. Awesome. Shifty, you are under the water looking like a dolphin, and you just saw about 15 feet above you on the surface, everything light up with an intense orange glow as the fireball erupts up ahead.
Ooh, that doesn't sound very good, but it sounds like some action. Where's the boat right now with Oceanus?
It's still a good 100 feet away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 25 feet.
Okay.
10, 20, 25 feet, which is my movement speed.
Okay.
Which is swim speed. And do I see any in the water?
You
this one in the water still?
Yes, you see the captain in the water. And you see you see a bunch of dead bodies of Sahuagin.
And what does the captain look like right now? Like, what can I discern?
From your angle, you see them kind of thrashing, the lower half of their body thrashing, and you can't really see what's happening up above the surface, but they seem to be struggling.
Perfect. All right. So what my guy's going to do, unfortunately, because I definitely did not hear somebody say keep him alive.
You did not?
No, I did not. And I don't see it. It looks like a bunch of these guys are just... Actually, what are the bodies doing? Are the bodies floating, or are they sinking?
Those are floating. Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, he's gonna do what he thinks would be helpful, and poke him from the back with a dagger that he throws.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. So you're wait, does that
So
work?
it's a nat
Can
20?
you throw a dagger through the water?
Yes, you can. I checked it on Google. You can daggers and spear or javelin can be used underwater.
Okay. What's your
it
range
works.
though for a thrown dagger?
20 to 60, it says.
So, unfortunately, underwater, anything past your range increment, it
Okay.
automatically misses. So you would have to get within 20 feet in order to do this.
All right, so I can use my bonus action then from my cutting action
Okay,
to
perfect.
go 5, 10, 15, and
There you go. So,
then I'll cast an idea. I rolled a nat 20
yeah, you definitely hit.
with sneak damage, which
Yeah.
is, yeah,
So how much damage?
16 plus 6, so 16, 22.
22? Are you doubling your sneak attack dice as well?
It looks like it said 8 plus 8, but yeah, it looks like it just doubled it there. Yep.
Okay, so so sorry, what was that? 26 points of damage? Is that what you said?
That looks like 20. I think it's 22. Yes.
22. Okay.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, 22.
Woo! So as the dagger goes shooting through the water remarkably, still trying to figure out the physics of that, but you manage to just throw it with immense speed through the water, and it right into the back of this Sahuagin. All of you see it kind of tense up and wail with this weird, strange sound as it... and yeah, it's looking hurt for sure.
I'm going to use... still have 5, 10, 15. As I do that, I'm going to kind of go up. You said I was 15 feet down?
Sure, yeah. So you're going to go 15 feet up and surface?
Yeah, I'm just going to let myself surface and then kind of like... and like, gotcha.
Okay, so all of you see Shifty suddenly appear, saying that as that Sahuagin reels in pain. Okay, is that your turn, Shifty?
I believe that would be my turn. I don't think I can do anything else.
Okay, the captain.
I'm still a. No, I'm not a dolphin. I guess yeah. I close my image, or no. Everybody hears the dolphin say "Gotcha," and it winks.
Okay.
Perfect.
So the Sahuagin captain, it is their turn. Yeah, he's gonna try to break free of this grapple. So I need you to roll a strength. Or no, it rolled. It listed the DC, right? It was DC 13 to break free. Okay.
If it's a saving throw, then he's got a D4
So
against him.
he unfortunately he succeeded on his charisma save. He got a 17. So
Darn it.
I know. Natural 20. So he rips free of Bert.
Oh, can I?
Dives under the water. Aspen and Bert can make attacks of opportunity as he dives under the water.
No runners.
All right. Hopefully,
Come on.
that 20 or something.
Got this.
I just-
23.
23, that
23
definitely hits.
hit.
But yeah, hold on. Shifty, what's up?
Yeah, Nathan. I just realized I rolled a 1 on those attacks for the damage, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, no, never mind. That's only an attack roll. Okay, excuse me.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna get to reroll because they're all ones.
Got it. So sorry, Aspen, you got a 23 that hits. Is that 11 points?
Yes.
Okay. 11 points of slashing, and Bert got a 15.
I just need to roll damage.
That
Well,
means you grab.
A
Does he grapple?
15.
You can.
A 15
Oh.
unfortunately does not hit. That just misses his armor class by 1. As Aspen, you slash into his back as it disappears under the waves. Bert shoots his tongue out and it splashes against the water, and this Sahuagin dives down 40 feet of movement, swimming down below. So they're 40 feet down, swimming away. So we'll see. They're still, so we're gonna say that they probably went at an angle. So they're probably kind of here as they dive down 40 feet. And they are going, essentially, they look to be going straight down. Okay, that was their turn. That takes us to the one that is grappled by Volric. They're just gonna start swinging wildly at you, Volric.
I have my palm of my hand on his forehead. Since I'm taller than him, I'm pushing him away so he's like a little kid. Kind of
Yeah, it's like, Volric, you still aren't missing any hit points, right?
Nope.
Okay, so here we go. This is just regular attacks. They get to make 2. Oh, 24! So you take, as you're pushing them away, you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as it slams into you. And then this one has advantage now because of the blood seeping out of your armor, and they roll another 22, and you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage from that.
All right. Ha! I like it.
Excellent. That was the Sahuagin. Chenyar, you are up.
All right. So, Chenrar will see what just happened with the one that's taken to the water.
Mm-hmm.
She is going to run and dive into the water. Hopefully you'll give me 10 feet of because my movement is 30. So
Yeah.
I will cast my last phase step 30 feet. I will reach him, and I will grab him, and I will cast inflict wounds.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I will
Okay.
say, no runners as I dive into the water.
Awesome. Roll that attack roll. Let's see if you hit. As you say,
Okay.
no runner. It's under the water, and all of the air, the bubbles escaping out of your mouth.
26 to hit.
That definitely
Oh.
hits. Roll your damage. Let's see that damage. Oh my.
34
gosh.
points of damage. Do I kill him?
I mean, yes, you do. So as you grab on and release the magic, the necrotic magic consumes the body, and it becomes a desiccated corpse as it tries to.
So DM, what I meant was before I jumped into the water, I said to the party, no runners.
Got it.
And then I jumped into the water.
Got it. Yeah.
Grabbed him. And yes, and then I will cast my inflict wounds.
Yeah.
And then I will hold him still, and my next turn will be to swim to the surface.
Got it. Yep. He is dead.
That's...
Crap, my shoulder strap just snapped under my shirt, so this thing's gonna be flopping around. Yay.
Just like the Sagawagon in the water.
That's right.
Right.
All right, Aspen, you're up. There's only the one left up on the shore.
Okay. I'll walk up over to this one. If I can move myself. I can't move myself. What's going on? Okay. If I come here, do I get flanking with Volric?
Yes, you do.
Okay. And I'm gonna. I gotta follow Amy on that. I'm gonna do an inflict wounds as well.
Go for it. Roll the attack roll.
Inflict wounds. Use my second level. 23, 15 damage.
15 damage. It does not kill them as you grab on, but the Sahuagin reels in pain, and you see these black veins appear as the magic takes hold.
That's all right. Rin to kill it.
Okay.
That's all I want to do.
Okay, Rin, it's your turn.
Per what Aize said earlier, just as she's pulling back, assuming she could make eye contact over giant Volric in the way.
Sure.
just do it. Well, Captain's a goner. Should I finish?
Do your thing, Rin.
All right, well, what does Aize?
Let's finish him.
This is over Volric's giant shoulder.
So Aize, what do you say?
Finish him. We already have one of him. Would have been nice to have a captain, but well, you know.
Okay. Go for it. Roll your attack. Oh no. I just saw a pun joke. Soggy in, I'm assuming. Yeah, anyways, let's see that attack roll.
Okay. Am I still too close? I have to roll with disadvantage?
No, this is a straight roll.
All right.
That does not hit.
Sorry, did it send twice?
It did. The first one does not hit, and the second one, as you release that, that's a 15 minus 3, is that right?
Yes.
That's also doesn't hit. So unfortunately, with both of your shots, they
go
over the head of the Sahuagin.
Are you? I'm sorry. Real
Bless?
quick. Are you rolling with bless?
I didn't roll that one with bless.
Oh,
because I forgot it earlier.
Add bless.
+4.
Awesome.
Nice.
Let me actually see. That might even do it with the first one. It actually doesn't matter because either of these hits. Yeah. So Rin, how do you kill the last Sahuagin?
All right. So after she misses the first one, suddenly she feels very inspired and blessed in the moment, and she just kind of focuses and releases the last arrow.
Okay. The arrow is released, smacking it straight in the chest as it's trying to slam into Volric, who's still pushing it back. And Volric, you suddenly feel it go limp in your hand, and you look down and see an arrow sticking out of its chest.
Aha. That's my girl. I just drop him.
It drops onto the ground, dead. And at that moment, silence kind of comes over all of you as the bodies around you just go limp and unmoving. Chenyar, you eventually surface holding the dead body of the captain. What do you all do next?
I make sure to bring the captain's body above, and any other bodies, make sure quickly to bring them above.
Yeah, you can collect all of the bodies, dragging them ashore. All of you get the bodies up on shore and out of the water.
I'll walk down to the cave entrance.
Yeah.
And signal our rescued slaves to come out.
Okay, they all start to file out.
And I'll say, time to start heading to the boats, I reckon.
They start to nod their heads. Go ahead, Aspen.
How far away is Oceanus now?
Yeah. So with all of this, as you're gathering up the bodies, the slaves are piling out, looking very nervously around. But you see some of them closing their eyes and taking in huge, deep breaths of the fresh air that's washing over them. You see that Oceanus is approaching. He's probably at this point about 50 feet away. And as he looks over his shoulder, he doesn't shout out. But you can see that he is like desperately trying to go as fast as he can. And as he approaches up next to you, Shifty, still kind of bobbing in the water, he leans over and kind of whispers to you, "Oh, that was quite a show." Oh, wait, he doesn't speak Common. So he says something to you in Elvish, and you don't know what he said.
I don't know. I'm going to say something back to him, and I go, "You're a part fish. Why didn't you just drag the boat in the water?"
He can't hear you.
And I'm just like this, and he doesn't understand me either.
Ren and I will translate.
So at this point, Oceanus, the boat bumps up against the shore. He hops out as you all start to congregate. Shifty, you asking that and the two of you translating. Oceanus looks down at you, Shifty, and we'll just assume you guys translate, but he looks down and says, "Yes, I can swim quite well in the water, but I would still need to push the boat, and it really would not have been faster for me to do that. It would have been slower than using the oars. Trust me."
Quieter. Anyways, we got your back. Well done, get in the boat.
All right. So you have the rowboat here. The rowboat holds a total of 4 creatures. You have Shifty's boat. That holds a total of 11 creatures. The rowboat is significantly slower than Shifty's boat. It does not have a mast. And it is, unfortunately, a little bit more, a little louder because it has to use the oars. But you have these 2 boats at your disposal. For the sake of brevity, you're able to get Shifty's boat if that is indeed the plan. What I want to know from all of you is kind of broad strokes. What's next? What are you planning to do?
So
Shifty.
go ahead.
Shifty's going to ask Vorik to commandeer or to drive the sea. Oh my gosh, the sea cutter.
Okay.
And yeah, he's going to ask. My gosh, my voice today. He's going to ask Vorik to drive the sea cutter, and he says, "I'll take the boat so I can help it. So I know how to make it go a little bit quieter, and
Okay.
I'm going to do the rowboat, but in my own little way."
Okay.
Are you sure, Captain? If you get caught, I could do it.
If this gets caught, then they're going to catch up to us anyways. So I think I prefer this, and I know I can trust you with my old boat.
Can we tie the rowboat to the other boat and drag it?
That is a possibility. Yeah, you got some good thinking, yeah.
I've seen it done before.
So, what do us sailors think, Nathan?
Yeah, you could certainly do that. I'm trying to think if you could use the sail that way. I suppose if the wind is in your favor, you could certainly do that. Yeah.
Can I put my finger up to this to see if the wind is in my favor?
Sure. I will do. Let me see here.
Like a
Yeah.
nature check?
No. Well, no. I'm gonna actually see which way the wind is blowing. So let me see.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the wind is blowing against you at this point. The boat is north of you, and the wind is blowing in a southwest direction.
So we need to use row.
Yuze, if you don't mind, gust of wind, that might help us.
A moment.
That would be brilliant.
DM, is there anything on the dead Sakawagan's bodies, like shells, necklace, any type of thing that I could take off of them?
Yeah, so going through the bodies, let me. Yeah, let me get back to you. I gotta find that.
I didn't have it packed, unfortunately. Gust of wind.
Well, it was just one idea. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been great. Yeah. So I think we have to use our rows and we'll have to use our paddles to be able to get through there. So let's get back to the boat, no?
Can Bulric, can you go in the water and push the boat? You seem to be able to swim underwater with that cloak. Does it give you any other ability?
I mean, something like if in the future there were an invention, there's some kind of engine, if you will, that you would attach to the back of it to make it go faster or something like that.
Yeah.
So, Nathan, what do I think?
So, what is your plan here? Is it that you would be the form of propulsion with nothing else? If you were to do that, yeah.
I'm guessing that if anything, it would just be a minor boost. But,
So
yeah,
this is what I would say is that if you did that in conjunction with somebody rowing, I would give you a minor boost. Where right now the rowboat goes at a speed of 20. If you did that, you could get it up to a speed of 30. But again, that is, I mean, it's gonna be loud, right? Because you're gonna be pushing it, you're gonna be kicking, and you're gonna have somebody rowing.
So I defer to the captain that he's going to try and smuggle that sucker and go quietly. So maybe not.
I think the quieters are better, no? Let's get down here and be as quiet as an owlbear.
Okay. So the idea is that Shifty, you'll be piloting the rowboat, and is Volric, you're going to be doing the cutter.
Yes, and Chris was going to say something earlier. Chris, did you?
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So let me see here. If I remember correctly, what we decided on this was that Shifty, you can add. So you're proficient in water vehicles, so you can roll a stealth check. You can just roll a normal stealth check with your stats.
I did. I got 24.
24. Okay. However, Volric is still going to need to try to be quiet piloting the cutter. You do not have the smuggler's background, but you are proficient in water vehicles, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm a sailor.
So what makes sense here is that you can roll a stealth check, not at disadvantage, because this has nothing to do with your armor. You can roll a stealth check. With your proficiency. So go ahead and add your proficiency bonus to this. So you can do Dex plus proficiency as you're piloting this ship. And
as I am, I say, Aspen, I could use a hand on my shoulder.
I tap him.
Okay.
You have guidance.
You get guidance. So sorry. Let me talk this through really quick, because this was a little bit of this wasn't. This is not rules as written, because it was never written in the modules, but or in the books. But because Shifty has a smuggler background, this was a conversation we had offline. Wanted to make sure that smuggler background, could apply to stuff like this. It makes sense. I think, Volric, you still have disadvantage at piloting this stealthily, because that's just not something that you've ever done. But you do get to add your proficiency bonus and your Dex modifier when doing so. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Totally.
And you get a D4.
I'll kill it. I'm going to kill it. I got Dior's his guidance there. All right, here we go. So first I'm going to do the guidance, because it's going to do it by itself. 2.
Okay, 2. So you get to add a 2 to this.
All right, so disadvantage, I have to roll this twice. So here we go.
Okay.
13. So 15 total.
15. Okay. All right. So you all get in these boats with all of the freed slaves piling in. Shifty, you are very crowded in this little rowboat, surrounded by orcs, hobgoblins, and lizard folk. The rest of you pile into Shifty's boat, which is also quite full at this point. with all of the remaining slaves, and with Shifty leading the way, silently gliding through the water. You don't even hear the oar strikes from Shifty doing this. He is so expert at this craft of moving this boat silently. Unfortunately, Volric, with you piloting the cutter, it's a little bit less trained, and there are some louder splashes that Shifty you can hear behind you from Volric pushing through the water. Aspen, as you tap his shoulder and focus in, Volric, you kind of take in a deep breath. You can see that Diora is about a half mile away at this point as you start to leave the dark spine of the island rising up out of the water behind you. You focus in, and those oar strokes start to become a bit more quiet, a bit more rhythmic and controlled. You can see the Diora approaching, getting within range. You start to see the shapes of the crew on the deck. You are starting to see details of this ship. It is very, very close.
Can I want to send a message to Eloise.
Yeah.
And have her tell the crew to get us ready for departure.
Okay, as you cast that message out, you can start to see there's a flurry of activity on the deck as crews start to dash about. You see them, I believe, did you drop anchor, Shifty? You did. So you do see a bunch of them go over towards that chain and start to push, and you can see it up out of the water. And as your boats push up against the side of the ship, you all manage to climb up aboard the deck, pulling all the slaves up, and there's no Sahuagin that followed or pursued. No alarms raised. You managed to get to the Diora without issue.
Where's the gods above? Let's go back to Saltmarsh ASAP. I'm so tired of this fishing nonsense.
Oh man, we still fly?
Just secure the gentleman below decks though, and I point at the Sahuagin prisoner.
Yes, the Sahuagin is unconscious, lying on the deck, and you pull the Sahuagin below decks. Okay. At this late hour, as the crew hurries and gets the ship in order, and you start to sail northward, you thankfully avoided any detection from the Sahuagin. And to your question, Chenyar, searching the bodies back at shore, I'm going to have to take this thing off at some point. Searching the bodies back at shore, you did find on the captain a pair of gold and silver armbands that had intricate designs depicting shark teeth that kind of encircle the armbands. For the sake of just simplicity, each of them are worth 25 gold if you choose to part with them.
How many were there?
2 of them.
2?
Yeah, and they're each worth 25 gold.
Was there anything on them that was of non-monetary value, like something that I could take from them, like shell necklace or a piece of their cloth or something?
I mean, they don't really wear cloth. I mean, that's like the only thing of, like, they had their armor pieces, which are made of shell. I
will take a piece of shell of each of them. I'll pry it off.
Okay.
Before we get on to the rowboat and Shifty's boat, I will give each of the prisoners.
Okay.
And I'll keep one, but I will give each of the prisoners a shell, and I will say to them, never forget what happened here. I believe war is coming. You need to tell your people to be prepared.
Okay.
Keep this as remembrance of what they did to you.
Yeah, they clutch those shells and nod at you, and a lot of them kind of become solemn and say, we'll never forget this. Thank you. As they clutch those pieces of shell. All right, so with all of you on the ship, I'm assuming you're all heading to back to Saltmarsh. Okay.
Any special orders, Captain?
Shifty says, go ahead and Captain, go ahead and commandeer it. I'm going to get to the to the quarters here, and I kind of nod at I nod at Aspen, and kind of just say to kind of have her come to the captain's quarters.
Okay. Yeah. So as Shifty, you head to the captain's quarters with Aspen following behind. Volric, you head up top, taking control of the ship. Before we cut to Aspen and Shifty, Rin, Aize, and Chenyar, what are you doing? So I'll start with Aize. What are you doing in this moment as the ship starts to sail northward?
I breathe a sigh of relief. Light up. Go down to my quarters and light up a light spell.
Okay.
Open up archive, pull out pen and quill, conjure up my quill,
Mm-hmm.
and make a record of everything that was taken and everything that we did. And then I'll break out the quartermaster journal and list all items collected.
Excellent. So as you start to catalog everything that was collected within in your quarters archive illuminating there before you, we see what is Rin doing in this moment.
Again, not super helpful for the team, but as she's kind of opening her sack to like have eat after all of that, she throws a bit of her meal at Bert, and he just and as a reward, like a treat.
Yeah, Bert
Well, hard work.
slurps down the treat and lets out a croak. All right.
And that's as descriptive as I'm gonna get.
Okay, and then lastly, Chenyar, what are you doing in this moment as you sail north?
Well, the first I'm going to do is to make sure that the unconscious prisoner that we saved, the man, that he's in a spot where he's able to rest, right, and he's protected. Kind of like going to be very guarded with him, like
Okay.
kind of watching over him. While I'm doing that, I'm going to spend the next hour examining the armor to see what I can identify about what is special with this armor.
Okay, yeah. So as you sit down for an hour with the unconscious Stefan next to you on the bed, lying there gently breathing, you sit down with the armor and just focus on it, looking it over. After an hour passes, you were able to kind of pick up on the properties of this armor, and it allows you to swim with great ease through the water. This is mariner's armor, I think is what it's called in the DMG. So if you're using, you should be able to search for it and find it.
Okay.
And I believe, what did I say it was? Was it half plate?
I believe so.
Okay. So it's mariner's armor, half plate mariner's armor. All right. Let us cut over to Shifty and Aspen in this moment. So, here we go. Shifty and Aspen. As the two of you enter into Shifty's chambers, you can see Aspen, the captain's quarters that Shifty has set up. Shifty, what does your captain's quarters look like? Have you done anything unique to it?
I'm guessing that he's already. I didn't have time to commission a painting yet, but he's definitely. I don't think he actually has had too much. He had a week, I guess. So he did kind of bring some of his own things from home and put it inside there. So there's some figurines along a shelf, and a little trophy from when he was younger of the fastest rower.
Awesome.
Is that one that he stole?
Was that what?
Is that one that he stole?
I don't know.
I'll never tell.
Yeah. So as you see this cozy space here, Aspen, with these trophies on display and the desk and the bed off to the side, what do you do, Shifty, as you pull Aspen inside here?
I say, Aspen, we gotta talk.
I figured that. What's wrong? Do you have alcohol in here? Do you have any kind of booze or something?
Well, of course, it wouldn't be a room, and I go kind of to behind the desk, and instead of in the desk, I actually hit the wall twice behind me, and a compartment opens up, and I pull out a bottle of rum.
Excellent.
Oh yes, my favorite. And I'll just take the bottle and I'll start drinking from the bottle. I'll
Okay.
replace this later.
All right.
So what's wrong?
Well, I'm really sure blessed us this time, but I'm having some worries about. Have you noticed? Have you seen that symbol that keeps showing up in all these things? I've seen it before a long time ago, and I don't want to think about it. It just. You see the hair rise up as he just starts getting goosebumps just talking about it. That symbol was in my past. And
Okay, wait. Calm down. Relax, take a deep breath.
no, you don't understand. You don't understand. Aspen, this is before I had to leave my old life. I was doing a job up north, actually, Waterdeep. And my cargo, that was the symbol that I had to look for. And that cargo, well, never say this to anybody, otherwise I'll be a dead man. You gotta understand this, all right? I'll be a dead man. But that cargo had that symbol, and well, something happened to the cargo, really. It was compromised. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I wrote, it was on a whale. No, it was on a fish. It was on a fish, and the fish didn't have any kind of, it didn't look deformed or anything. You know, it looked normal. This was, what, 5, 7, 10 years ago, though.
I'll just walk over to his bed and I'll pat like the spot next to me. Come sit. You have to relax. I know you're saying I don't understand. Question, Nathan. Is the symbol is this the same symbol we've been seeing throughout for man, now I can't speak. Is this the same symbol as Vorik?
The spiral, yes.
Correct.
Okay.
I show her the symbol. I pull out some of the shells that I collected from that thing. I say, "This thing, I've seen this. I was hired by 5 years ago, or so, 5 or so, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a longer time ago. But sometimes in the past, you know, a client named Mr. Nemo, very mysterious, right, hired me to smuggle some contraband, and it all went south, real south. It went bad. It was real bad. So whoever that Mr. Nemo is, if it's that, you know, that long dead, you know, if it's that long dead captain or whatever, I mean, they can't know that I'm around.
What happened to the contract? I mean, what happened? You say it went south, but you're kind of just rambling.
I didn't always go by Shifty. You know, that's not what my mama called me when I was born, but that's a nickname I was given because I was growing up, you know, on the streets, so to speak. So I learned a few things, and I learned how to be Shifty. And that's what everybody kind of nicknamed me and kind of stuck with me, but that doesn't matter. I was transporting a large fish, and it was chock full of contraband. You know, apparently it's flammable. Who knows? I don't know. It wasn't no fault of mine. No fault of mine, mind you.
Shifty, you're going off topic. Continue. You were smuggling a fish.
Yeah, it had the symbol on his belly. I was supposed to look for that, and I found it, and I took it to Skullport. If you heard of it, it's a it's a smuggler's den, I guess you could call it, underground, beneath Waterdeep. You have to know the way to get there. But anyways, everything just it exploded. It blew. The whole thing just blew up, and well, everybody thinks I'm dead. I'm better off for it. That's why I came back for a new life. I start over here in Soggy Bottom. Yeah, here in Saltmarsh. It's a and I like this life here. I don't want to lose it, but I know that the place we need to go to next. There's might be some people that might recognize me, and it's not the only thing I'm worried about. Damn it, the Volek. Can't we trust him? Like I'm on my nerves every time I'm on the land. Every time I'm anywhere, he's contradicting me in front of the whole crew, in front of everybody. I think he's gonna try to. Do you think he might try to commandeer the ship and take it from me? I want it to be the whole group, but it just, it's not right, man. It's not right. Ask him what kind of stuff he's done. Does he know who he supports?
So I take it that this is not about you going by a new name. This is about Volric?
I just got a lot of things on my mind. I'm glad this thing went out so well, but everybody's expecting us to fail, especially me. It's the first thing on their mind, and it's not just this. I know that the next place we have to go to is that up in Thornhold, or down in Thornhold. We have to go to where was it? I think it's Thornhold. We have to go to the warehouse, and that warehouse is pretty much. It was a well-known place. I do know the ins and outs of it, but not as Shifty. Or I guess as Shifty, but they don't really ever recognize me. I always kind of kept a low profile there, believe it or not, because I can't have them recognize me. But if we go there, there's a large risk that I put everybody in danger. So there can be no. We need to be careful. But at the same time, is there going to be? Do you think we're going to? I think I would like you to probably be my first mate, because you have had my back, and I'm worried this Vorik, he's going to do a mutiny on us. Like he doesn't have the good as Saltmarsh in his mind. I think he cares more about this the lions, the damn lions.
That was a lot to unpack.
You've seen it.
I have, yes. But firstly, I don't think there's going to be a mutiny on this ship. Vorik would never do that. He cares about his friends, and he cares about us. I mean...
But he doesn't respect us, at least me. How can you get that respect? Got no respect.
That's respect. You think he doesn't respect you? I mean, I've noticed things but
every time I mentioned that, try to put my foot down and say, hey, I am in charge of this vessel since you put me in charge, and nobody wanted to help with getting it. Not getting it, but rather to make sure we were able to have it and own it for ourselves, for the good of Saltmarsh. Every time he says, oh, I'm playing, Captain, I'm playing like I'm some child, and that he's just going to come and take it away when I no longer he's no longer deemed me fit. Things like that, just I worry.
Well, I mean, if you don't feel respected by Vorik, then you have to let him know. You tell him, you talk to him in private, and you let him know that you don't feel respected as a captain. That's the only way you'll get the respect you want. You have to communicate with other people. I mean, I can't do it for you. I'm not a captain. But I am your best friend, and I will always have your back. And if he ever tried to overthrow you, it simply would not work.
At this point, you hear a loud at your door, Shifty, to the captain's quarters.
We kind of go quietly. Yeah, come in.
And as the door opens up, you see Volric stepping inside. At this moment, as Volric, you step in with the three of you in that room, we are going to cut to our break as we see what happens with this conversation next. Since we're at 5:30, and I'm also need to deal with this because it's like really bothering me and falling off of my shoulder. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll be right back, probably about 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll see you shortly. Bye. Oh, I want to say really quick because we're all here. And it's fine. People can go on break. But before I forget,
New showtime.
yes, we are going to be doing a new Showtime next year, and I totally forgot to say that last week. So I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to say it at the end of the show tonight. But next year, we're going to be streaming on Monday nights instead of Sunday nights. And we're going to be doing 6 to 9 p.m. Pacific time on Monday nights. I will send out another reminder at the end of the show, just so that everybody's aware. All right, we'll be right back. See you soon. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Let's just jump right back into it. You'll notice my little shoulder is gone. Thank God. That was so annoying. But let's jump right back into it. So, we left off with Shifty and Aspen having a conversation in the captain's quarters. Shifty concerned about his past and what Volric, having some mistrust of Volric, uncertain of where his alliances may fall. And in this moment, do a little bit of time travel here. We see Volric stepping up to the captain's quarters, getting ready to knock on the door. And Volric, you hear voices inside, and you catch your name. And as you lean in and listen, you pick up on the last part of this conversation, hearing Shifty kind of confess to Aspen some of the worries he has about you. And at this point, you knock on the door. Shifty letting you in, and as we see the three of you standing in this captain's quarters, Volric, what do you do as you step inside?
A word, Captain, and a toast.
Yeah, come join us.
I have Bryn at the wheel. We're in good hands.
I'm sure we can get one of the crew in there. We hired some good crew.
So, first thing, I see you're drinking already, as am I.
A little bit.
All that.
Good thing to celebrate. We did good together out there, all of us. We had some close calls, but I think this mission went off really well.
Could have gone better, I think. Good work getting that map at the end, too. It was all we could do to get out of there in time.
Yeah, I was a little worried.
But if I could, I don't mind talking in front of Aspen about this. I was interested in your zealousness to save the slaves. I was impressed. I was wondering if there's something more behind that.
Well, thanks. Yeah, that's what I do. That's kind of why they called me Shifty. I'm good at sneaking around sometimes.
Yeah, but I'm speaking specifically about wanting to save the slaves and risking your arse. Because you saw what happened to Oceanus. Granted, he's no smuggler, but the risk would have been there for you. So I'm wondering, is there more to it about these slaves, or am I just reading into something that's not there?
More to about what?
I'm wondering, do you have a particular interest in freeing slaves or this flight?
Oh yeah. Well, it's just I was almost one myself in the past. I hate the slave trade. It's an abomination. It just has no reason. If you want to get something, do it with your own hands. Whether it be stealing or working, but I mean, that's kind of work too, right? I mean, there's risk with everything. But you got to work for it. You can't just take people and force them to do things. It's just anything. Nothing deserves slavery. And if it's one thing a smuggler's code has, is that you don't smuggle people. Or any sentient creatures, really. I mean, or at least two-legged, but I guess, I don't know. But yes, no, I can't, I would not be able to leave them behind. No way.
Well, I couldn't disagree with the word that you just said. And as someone who was not only a slave, but forced into gladiator pits for a decade, I appreciate that. I appreciate you for your strong character traits, Captain.
You think?
By the way, I started a mutiny, and everybody out there has their weapons out, so you can surrender now.
I'm gonna stick.
I love you, Shifty. Don't ever worry about that.
Are you for real?
I jumped in the water to save your arse, or at least that was my intention.
Yeah, I noticed. I was surprised. Thank you. I appreciate that. We worked really well this time as a crew, as a team. I think one of the first times we actually worked really, really well together and trusted each other.
agree. That's when the true character shows in times of crisis. And all of you, Aspen, all of you, showed your true colors, and they were pretty colors, I guess you would say. But I just wanted to know, is there anything else that I can do for you, or any questions that I can answer? Because I do have a pretty good eye, one left, pretty good ears, so it's kept me alive, and I did hear a little bit of what you're talking about before I came in.
Do you still distrust me and Aspen?
Nope.
Do you know I would do anything for the crew I have here?
Can I roll an insight check to that?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
17.
I mean, Ulrich, if you...
You can tell I'm very sincere.
There you go.
I mean, we both come from backgrounds where we don't just share things with strangers. You can't. That can get you killed. But you know, I know a lot of people look down upon me in Saltwater, or they laugh, or maybe like feel uncomfortable. But most people are uncomfortable with little people, you know, with halflings. They just say they think they're better than everybody else because they're taller and stronger. But I'm going to be the best smuggler on the Sword Coast, mark my words. Or if not smuggler, the best captain. And with a crew like this, I know it can happen. Look at all the loot we got today, and I just start putting out all the bars of platinum that we got, like, on the table and stacking them up. And like, we got payday.
It was a good haul, Captain. But again, sir, I asked, do you have a question for me? Because, as I said, you could trust me, and I do have almost 50 years of trustworthy history.
I just looked to Shifty. I'm sorry. I just looked to Shifty, and I say to him, "Now is the time. Tell him how you feel about not being respected."
It's true. In front of the council people, you think I'm trying to undermine you. I'm not. I'm trying to get you a better deal. I'm trying to make sure that we are not going to get shafted by... we're not going to get shafted by them again.
So, it's about...
Of course, you know who I'm talking about, right? The Lord's Alliance. I know you think they're great and everything because they come in shiny armor, but they're not looking out for the good of Saltmarsh. They're really not. They want to take everything that makes Saltmarsh and just take it away. They want to take away our trade. And that's what's going to happen.
So, you think that I'm too heavily skewed towards the Lord's Alliance, therefore you think that I disagree with you, therefore you can't trust me? These are just opinions, correct? I see myself as pragmatic. I see good and bad in many things. Gray, actually. And the Lord's Alliance, who's going to be going to battle? Not a bunch of smugglers. The Lord's Alliance is going to be taking these Salawagan out. But I do respect your perspective, and I don't seek to counter you.
Well, the thing is, everybody in Saltmarsh is more or less a smuggler. That's what we do. We bring things in and out, we take our own cut. Now, alleged is actually what we go by because they can't ever prove it because we're that good.
Well, Captain, I do have a bit of an anxiety about leaving Rin up there. She is experienced, don't worry. But I do want to take my job seriously. But know this. I will respect your perspective. I will share my perspective. When we speak to the council,
What is your perspective?
As to what, sir?
To this whole situation, to the Lord's Alliance, to Saltmarsh. What is your perspective? Like, what's your goal here?
My goal is to do good, make some cash, kick some arse. Pretty much in that order. Although maybe kicking arses comes before the treasure. But nonetheless, I see the Lord's Alliance as the military arm that is necessary to allow the culture and the people of Saltmarsh to continue. Doesn't mean I'm in love with them, but it does mean I see value in them. But at the same time, you have a nearly violent disposition towards them, so I can ease up. We'll adjust. We'll lean on the smugglers, lean on ourselves. But again, Captain, I would like to get back to the wheel.
Fair enough. Cheers.
No, you can count on me.
And just maybe for the respect thing, support me in public. Talk to me in private if you have something against what I'm saying.
And,
I need a first mate, not a stalemate.
and the same goes for me, correct? If I'm the first to speak,
It sounds good.
agreed. I'll get back then to it, Captain.
All right. As Volric, you turn and head up to meet up with Rin on the deck, Aspen and Shifty in the captain's quarters. I would like to actually cut back down to Aize, down in your quarters. As you are going through your notes, consulting everything that you've found, you as your evening starts to come to a close, Aize, and you kind of feel sleepiness washing over your eyes, and you sort of pack up everything and lay down to bed down for the evening. As sleep takes you and you drift off into darkness, you suddenly start to see warm light fill your vision, and you start to feel a presence at your side. And as your eyes sort of focus and clear, you find yourself sitting in this strange sort of darkened chamber surrounded by large stacks of books that seem to go up into infinity. And sitting in front of you is an older gentleman that you recognize, with a crystal sphere in front of him that's kind of swirling with mist. You see the older dark-skinned gentleman wearing similar garb to you as a librarian with the robes on. He has the if you actually don't mind, Aize, you said, if I remember correctly, there's like a specific symbol that librarians have, right, that designates them as a librarian. Is that correct?
No, actually, but you can make one up.
Oh, I thought there was like a tattoo or some sort of...
Oh, no, he has the 3 dots of Termitian rank on his head.
That's what it was. That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah, he will have 3 dots.
Yes.
1 indicates that you can read, 2 indicates you can read and write, and 3 indicates you're a wizard.
Excellent. Yeah, so he has the 3 dots running up his forehead. As he looks up to you, you can see kind of like salt and pepper hair, a very nice close-cropped goatee, and he looks towards you as you feel this presence there, and he is going to say to you, let me cut over here to just us for a little bit. Ah, Aize. Wonderful to see you. I'm sorry it's been so long.
Farouk! For a moment there, I thought I'd been taken away and died in my sleep. It's so good to see the books and to see you.
Ah, yes. I got word from Captain Zendros that you're in Saltmarsh. Is that correct?
Indeed. I am living the smuggler's life.
Are you really? Ah, well, I've heard the romantic stories told and all that. How is it?
Wet. Somewhat soggy, but otherwise, I'm doing fine, speaking with Zendros, I got my eyes open for the apparatus. So far, I haven't found it, but I'm keeping my eyes and ears open. Interesting political situation here. I'm
Yes.
not sure how it impacts in terms of Termish, but the involvement of the Zendrasi is of concern, and the cult of Umberly, of course. That does interest the library, I imagine.
Yes, I was hoping to speak with you about that.
Oh, I'm all ears.
I, first off, would love to get a report from you on your goings on and everything that's happened. I assume you're still traveling with the same crew with that Volric and Rin and Sethreth.
Sethreth has departed from our crew, unfortunately. He is gone off to find himself. But I still want to keep my inquiry onto his ancestry open. Volric and Rin are with me, and there are 2 other associates who are Saltmarsh locals who have joined us. And an occasional, another acquaintance who joins us occasionally, an elf. Oh, geez, a recent arrival, a rather unusual creature has joined us recently.
Oh.
And she is new, and is completely, how shall I put it, immune to any type of mind reading, which is an interesting thing. But she's an associate. She's associate of Rin with family connections. So Rin vouches for her, so she's all right.
If you say so, I would keep an eye on that one, keeping... Everyone's right, has a right to the privacy of their thoughts, but she could be hiding something.
It's an unusual ability.
Indeed.
But I have eyes on her.
Well, tell me, Aize. And then I just want to check in with you, because I'm trying to remember. How much did you tell Zendros about? Did you give Zendros all of the information of everything you've kind of been up to?
I gave her a full report.
Full report. Okay, got it. Okay, that's what I was trying to remember.
Standard librarian encoding.
Yeah. So he goes, I'm very interested in these Umberly's tyrants and this symbol of Umberly. You say Captain Sirgal has adopted in the past. I've looked into it, and it is an obscure reference I've seen, him using this symbol. Have you found anything else out about it? I don't recognize it in any of our records.
Yes, we recently took a venture into the Sahaugen stronghold, and we saw the symbol in there. In the temple of their shark god, I can't remember the name of the creature off the top of my head.
Sekula.
Sekula, that's it. Also had a symbol of Umberly. Had the spiral symbol which associated with the cult of Umberly. This symbol was identical to the one that we found on the Hydra, the cursed Hydra in the swamp that had been polluted. There is a link, of course, between the cult of Umberly and, it's concrete evidence. There's a link between the cult of Umberly and the Sahagin and this captain.
That is what puzzles me, Aize. This symbol has no record that I can find. The fact that someone adopted it as Umberly's. Umberly has many symbols throughout Toril, but I've never seen this one. And the fact you say the Sahuagin have adopted it as well, that makes no sense. They are a primeval species that worship deities of ancient origins. Why would they be associating with the divine?
Excellent question. I suspect when we capture the captain in question, we'll be able to find out, hopefully.
Yes, you must do this, and you must report to Zendros so that I can get a full report as soon as possible.
Absolutely. I have a feeling that in the process of our adventure and of ridding the coast of the Sahagin, we're going to encounter him anyway. I mean, we've encountered that symbol twice. 3 times a charm, you know?
Well, that would be fascinating, but I guess I've heard of stranger things in this world, of course.
Ah, yes. What a strange and wonderful place this world is.
Indeed. Well, very good. Aize, I just wanted to check in. It's been quite some time. I think you're doing quite good work there, and I appreciate you collecting as much information as you do.
I'm starting to get a real feel for this field work thing, you know? I mean, it's not quite as interesting as index cards, but I'm getting better at it.
You should have seen the look on your face. You were sequestered away in the deepest, darkest places of the library, writing your notes, keeping the records, and then when we told you you were going on field assignment, ha!
Yes, I did have to change my pants, yes.
Oh, that's what that was. Oh, I do notice you like to wear the brown pants. Anyways, easy. Well, I look forward to our next conversation. Have a lovely evening wherever you may be.
Sleeping on the waves. Very well, Chief Librarian Farouk.
Very well, Aize.
May the gods watch over you.
And the image suddenly fades and you drift back off into sleep. Before we go into the evening, as you all sail northward, is there anything that you all want to do before, before we go to the next day and you find yourselves back in Saltmarsh? Any last minute things?
The only thing I'll be doing is I want to get on the aft of the boat with my binoculars and scan the waters to make sure there's no giant two-headed shark following us.
Yes, of course. Go ahead and roll a perception roll for me.
You want me to make that roll today?
Yeah, that would be great.
Here we go. 22.
22. So you are sailing away from the island, looking back southward as it slowly becomes smaller and smaller in the distance. You don't see any massive shark trailing the boat. However, you do see, as faint as it is at this distance, there do seem to be a flurry of kind of that aqua green light seems to be emanating from the base of the island, and there seems to be a flurry of activity at the island as you continue heading northward. And you swear that you see the island itself sort of rumble and shake and dip down ever so slightly into the waves by a foot or two.
That would explain the building of the barracks, because why would you have it above ground for water-breathing creatures?
But you don't see any shark pursuing you.
I'll make a note of that, and I'll discuss that in the morning with the crew.
Okay.
And,
Okay. If none of you have anything else for the evening,
are we going to be on watches at all?
I have people in the crow's nest, just as a note.
Okay.
Yeah. For the sake of this, since you are about a day's travel, or sorry, half a day's travel to Saltmarsh, and you're able to travel relatively quick to get back, watch won't be necessary as you sleep through the evening. As the morning comes, you all get a long rest, and as you wake up the following day to the sounds of the gulls up ahead and step out on the deck, you can see that the crew has piloted the ship into port, and you are currently docked within Saltmarsh. You can start to hear the busyness of the morning picking up as people are moving boxes, fishermen going off to their daily jobs. What would you all like to do as you wake up here in Saltmarsh and have the day before you?
Is Stefan awake?
That is a good question. Yes. You, Chenyar, so Chenyar, where'd you stay? Did you have Stefan in your quarters, or did you put him somewhere else? Okay.
I was careful to keep watch on him,
Mhm.
and take a cold compress to his forehead from time to time and make sure that he did well
Perfect.
and was ready with some healing if I needed to be.
Okay, yeah. Uh, what I would like for you then is to make a medicine check for me.
Okay. $15.
So throughout the night, as you come in and out of your trance to check on Stefan and place the cold compress on his head and check on his vitals, by the morning you start to see his breathing becoming much more consistent. And as you can hear the crew up top shuffling about, you see his eyes start to flutter open, and he slowly turns and looks at you as he regains consciousness.
Stefan, can you hear me?
Yes.
We are back in Saltmarsh. Do you need some help to get off the boat? I have the armor here from your friend. We were able to keep it safe, as well as the others.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Here, let me help you out. Let me help you out.
He sits up. Thank you so much. I know that their family will be so pleased to receive this back.
Yes, understood. I am so sorry about your friends. We were able to recover some other individuals, but I don't think they were any of the ones that you traveled with. You didn't travel with any orcs, did you?
No, I watched all of my companions die in front of me.
I am so sorry. I do not wish to burden you any further. However, the recounting of your ordeal might be important to some of the council so that they understand what has happened. You do not seem 100% well yet, so I will help you up, and then perhaps we can help you to an inn, and maybe someone from the council can come and speak with you. But I do have the armor here, and I will carry that for you.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, where are we? Are we in Thornhold?
I believe we're in Saltmarsh somewhere, but I honestly do not know where. I'm new here.
Okay, yes, of course. Yes, I can report to this council, of course. So as you were able to help him up and guide him out onto the deck, easy enough. And he seems to be very cooperative and willing to retell his tale. What about the rest of you?
Well, when we can, I want to gather the group together and let them know what I saw last night.
Okay. So as you get everybody together in the morning, you all are standing on the deck. You do have a courier waiting that informs you that the council is eagerly expecting to hear your report back. They're all waiting in the council hall for you, and this courier kind of dashes off this young kid. So you have that before you, but you're all standing there on the deck with Volric there.
Before we all go, a bit of information for you. Captain, the rest of you.
What's the information?
I spied the island as we were leaving. A lot of activity, a lot of those eerie glowing lights. And I would swear, on my son's grave, that the thing sank just a little bit more into the ocean. And that would explain a lot, not only as to why it was underwater to begin with, but why they built a barracks for an army of Salwagan that breathe underwater. So they're the ones doing it. Those priests, I'm sure they're the culprits. No doubt channeling some power from the demonic symbols that we've seen.
I'm not sure what to do with that information yet. The only leads we have is that they're priests for some reason, and they're prayed, I think, to some big old shark.
But we
Yeah.
also saw routines, and it seemed to me like they were preparing for some kind of battle. I mean, why do they need routines monitoring the area, right?
And if it sunk down when we come back, we're gonna be dealing with new environment.
But we have all of those water breathing potions in that chest. We can certainly make use of them.
That only lasts an hour. That wouldn't help us in a battle.
Can I
Mm.
suggest
It didn't really
something
help
right
us.
now? I'm sorry to interrupt you, Aspen, my friend. We found 12 of those, as I recall. I say we each take 2 of them right now, because in the future you don't know when we might need it. What do you say?
I assume not drinking it now.
No, keep it on your person, my friend.
Yeah. Of course.
I'll be proactive and I'll start taking it out and
Yeah.
start handing it as we're talking.
Easily.
Aspen, what were you saying? I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch it.
I totally forgot what I was saying. I totally forgot. It wasn't important. If we're done, do we have to be to the council right now? If not, then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go do my own thing.
I have Stefan here. I would like to. He's very weak. I would like some help from someone, if I could, please, to help him to the council. He can at least give a recounting of his ordeal and let them know what has happened.
I'd be happy to help.
Thank you, Ulrich.
All right. So are you all gonna head to the council hall?
Before we go off the boat,
Yeah.
Shifty would like to address this the new freedmen, I guess you could say.
Sure. I mean, there's some women in
Okay,
there, but yeah.
Freed people. He goes, "Hear me now and hear me well. You are now free. Free from the chains and the shackles. If you would like to have a job on this fair ship, the Diora, I will pay you a fair wage. If you do not want a job, no problem. Each of you will get a silver just to help you get started on your way back into the world. Remember who it is that helped freed you."
Captain Shifty? I believe some of these individuals were taken from their homes and perhaps where they once lived. Is there a way that we can help some of them that do not wish to stay on the boat? Back
Like,
their homes?
I'll give them each a silver piece, whether they stay or not, to help them get on their way.
All of them nod and kind of like look amongst themselves, sort of talking to each other. Go ahead and make a persuasion roll for me, Shifty.
And how many of them are there, by the way? 11?
Yes. I gotta look.
Where's
14.
10.
Okay. Yeah, there's 10 of them.
Okay.
You gotta have 14. Okay.
Take off my
I
twin
will
sword.
say that, I'll say that 5 of them step up to you and hold out a brisk hand to do a handshake on it. And you get 5 more crew members that join up with you. None of the lizard folk. So it is, you have, I'm going to say you have 3 orcs and 2 hobgoblins that join your crew. The lizard folk, they seemed that they immediately spotted the encampment of lizard folk on the outside of town, and they bid farewell as they go off to regroup with their people. And then the remaining of the hobgoblins and orcs seem like they've had enough, and they want to get back to their homes, and as Chenyar pointed out, warn their people of the looming threat of the Sahuagin. So as they all depart and the crew gets settled in, you all, if I'm understanding correctly, you all head over to the council hall with Stefan in tow. Stepping into the big council room, you are led once more into the back office of Ida Oland, where you see the familiar sight of all the council members as well as the representatives of the different aquatic species, with the Lokata, the merfolk, and the lizard folk all within this room, and they eagerly await your report with Stefan there. Instead of, I don't know if we need to role play out an entire long description of anything. Is there anything that anybody wants to say specifically to the council? Otherwise, we can kind of just assume you give your report. I guess I will need... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, DM. So the only thing that I would want to do, since I am a new member of this group,
I
will listen intently as each council member speaks, and I would like to do insight as they're talking to see whether or not I get any vibe off of them.
Go ahead and make an insight roll for me as they are talking. And I guess now that I'm thinking about it, I will need to kind of know what exactly you tell them, like in terms of like the objectives that you were given based on that. But yeah, let's see what Chenyar's insight check is first as this conversation is occurring. 17, okay.
17.
So as this conversation is happening, the council having this back and forth with your new group, Chenyar, you sitting quietly in the corner and looking over these individuals. As your eyes drift over the youngest individual of the council, you see this young kind of lanky man with dark straight hair. Let me see here. Who, yeah, so straight black hair with these big dark eyes, kind of sharp features. Seems to be the youngest of the council, a human man, which you quickly pick up. His name is Anders Solmore. As you look at him, you have kind of a flash in your vision, and you see yourself standing once more in that strange mist-filled environment with all of the other shapes of bodies forming around you in columns of mist. And as one rises up before you, you see the face solidify into the face of Anders Solmore as your vision once more clears back, and you find yourself sitting in this room with Anders looking over the group, addressing the group, looking at Shifty, and he's saying, so if I understand this correctly, sounds like it went pretty well. There are a number of Sahuagin that you managed to slay. That's great. And you see the red-haired, broad-shouldered Eleander Fireborn kind of give a big grin towards all of you, and then looks down at you, Shifty, and goes, "Gotta say, I didn't think you had it in you." So what I would like to know from all of you is kind of what do you give to the council? What information do you give to them?
I pass it over to Rourke and Aize. They are quite good at talking about these things, much better than I.
Okay. They all turn to address both of you.
I'll defer to my scholarly friend. I might have a bit to add at the end.
Okay.
I step forward. Gentle beings, and otherwise, we were successful in our mission. Through stealth and dagger and spell, we penetrated the Sahuagin lair, the former abode of the lizard men, and I flourish. We have maps of everything that we discovered down there. In particular, I would point out the second floor. There's a room with a really interesting two-headed shark in there, but that's an aside. We completed the mission as best we could, but we could not get down to the third level, unfortunately. And the second level is only partially investigated. We brought back slaves with the Sahuagin had working for them in order to do some construction work on the first layer. We brought back one Sahuagin prisoner.
You see them
who
all.
we can either give to you for interrogation, or we can interrogate it himself and give you the information. It's up to you. We also found certain items that we're going to keep. if you want to know what they are, you can ask if you like. There's some items that we're going to give away because they belong to some of the slaves. That's going to get sorted. But for the most part, it is very, very, very clear that they're looking at a very large force of Sahagin with magical support, at least one, I don't know what to call it, avatar type creature in their service. Priests, shamans, whatever. Something monstrous on whatever the heck they have on the 3rd level. Good Volric did observe something as we left. The island is sinking. Not through any natural occurrence. Through some means or the other, the Sahagin are sinking it into the ocean. That means that it's entirely possible that the next time you do an assault on the place, there's going to be no airspaces in the upper floor. Not sure. You never know.
There's a lot of exchanges of glances and hushed conversation, and you see Eleander kind of stiffen up. Eleander Fireborn. Well,
I'd like to.
this likely means we'll need to accelerate our plan on assault. If any of us non-aquatic folk are going to stand a chance. Volric.
I just wanted to add, Eric the player wanted to add that as Aize was talking the whole time, I would wave my hand occasionally, and kind of multicolored runes that would kind of float in the air, and they would form images, my minor illusion, of the shark and certain aspects, places that we went, so they could really get a good idea of what he's talking about.
Perfect. You see Chenyar Stefan sitting at your side, and when the shark is mentioned, he sort of like pulls in on himself and seems to be kind of drawn into thought and like trauma. As
Chinyar will touch his shoulder and rub it, and she will also cast guidance as he tries to prepare himself for what he's about to say.
Okay, yeah, he kind of calms down in Aize.
Oh, yeah. Is the lizard representative here? The representative from the lizard folk?
Yeah.
And it's someone we know, right?
Yeah, it's the 2 ambassadors that you traveled to Saltmarsh with, which I'll have to find their names, but you do know them, yes.
No problem. I will link telepathically with one of them and say, don't be alarmed. This is strictly the business of the lizard folk, but the symbol that we found on your sacred beast was in the lair of the Sahagin as well, in the temple with the 2-headed shark. This may be something you wish to convey to your queen.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for this. This is very disconcerting.
With your permission, I would share it with this council, but only with your permission.
I think it's best that we all know what we're going up against. Please do share.
Very well. Oh yeah, another thing. The corrupted Hydra that was at the Lizard Man lair. The symbol on it was identical to the one that we found in the Shark Temple.
And I make that symbol appear as he speaks of it.
There's kind of some gasps in the air as they all see it. You especially. Go ahead.
Anyone happen to know what this is? Or is familiar with this?
You see Eleander's eyes go wide and then focus in and look around the room. I recognize that. I'll never forget that symbol.
Would you care to elaborate?
I think Volric knows just as well as I do. The infamous Captain Sergal used that. Flew that above his ship. You see Anders Solmore as well sort of hold himself and nod. Ida Oland nods in acknowledgement. Trying to think anyone else in the room that would have seen it. I don't think so. Yeah, those are the only people seem to respond to it.
You wouldn't happen to... Well, I'll ask Volric later, but just in case, if it should jog your memory, if any of you should happen to know where Sergal got his symbol from, that would really be appreciated.
Eleander takes a moment to think. and then just looks over you all. I have no idea. He claimed it was tied to Umberlee. That's what we heard. I don't know where it came from, though.
Nathan, the information that Shifty found when he was going solo, I
Yeah,
believe language he could not understand.
yeah.
Do we have anybody looking at that yet?
No, you can, if you're gonna share those, share the evidence, I guess, the intel with the group, if everybody's comfortable with that. The group looking it over amongst the council and the various allies, nobody... Yeah, no... Oh, actually, let me check something. I wonder if Eleander might know the language. Give me a...
Does this mean anything?
Yeah, as Shifty shows it throughout the room. Eleander actually knows quite a few languages. Let me see.
If worse comes to worse, I can translate it.
Eleander does not recognize the language. And everyone else in the room looking at it, yeah, there's nobody else in the room that recognizes this language.
Maybe we can get a wizard from town looking
Why from
a scholar.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I finished.
I think our friend Aize said he can do this.
The council looks to you, Aize. Is this true?
Yeah. Do you want a translation?
Yes, and they pass you the shells with the engravings on it. Stefan stands up in the room, clears his throat. May I speak? And the council looks to address, and Stefan kind of looks to you, Aize, if I may.
Go ahead.
I was sent from Thornhold to investigate this island. We were aware that it was sinking into the sea, and we also had many merchant vessels disappearing going along that route. You see some of the council nodding in agreement, some of them talking about, yes, we've had reports of ships disappearing. We were sent in, my companions and I have some arcane ability, and kind of looks towards you, Aize, and he does a quick gesture with his hands that you recognize as prestidigitation, as he just kind of creates a flourish of color in the air. We were much like these folk, and gestures to all of you. But when we arrived, they were waiting for us. The Sahuagin knew we were coming. I don't understand how this is possible, but I've been thinking about it, and they must have had some connection with the Thornhold Council. That is who hired us on.
Spies.
I
What-
guess so, but I don't
What was the
understand.
name of the person that hired you, by chance?
You see them sort of tense and look around the room. I don't know if I should share exactly who it was.
Are you
For their
afraid?
safety.
Ah,
I can't remember everything I told you when I was blacking out, but I fear I may have said the name. He kind of looks around at all of you. If you would
I
please...
think he did, didn't he?
He did.
DM?
He did, yes. He looks around all of you. I would ask that you keep it to yourselves, but I can't stop you, and I owe you a life debt.
You owe
Okay,
us
now-
nothing, Stefan.
Thank
If it's
you.
going to help us against the war of the Sahuagin, I would suggest and hope that you would share it. Although I won't force it upon the council myself.
Make a persuasion roll for me, Volric.
$15. 1-5.
We were hired on by Councilmember Thornwell. She's part of the Thornwell family, dwarven family that has been ruling Thornhold for quite some time now, but it's broken up into a council much like this. I don't know how. I don't suspect she was the one that would have betrayed us, but who knows? I worry it was someone within the council themselves. When we were brought on, we had a meeting much like this one. Anyways, I just wanted to give you a bit more information on what I saw within.
Thank you, Stefan. Stefan, I know it's very trying, and I only ask so that the council members will understand what you had seen and what had happened to your companions.
Of course.
If you're able, do you think you could give them a little bit of what happened so they understand what we are facing?
Everything that you've all said is true. There is something terrible happening down there, and my companions were part of a great sacrifice that brought that monstrosity into being. The only other thing I know is that the Sahuagin seem to be led by at least 3 members. I have no sense of their names as I don't understand their language. But I saw a great... The Sahuagin was different. It was massive. It had 4 arms instead of 2. Slate gray skin. Large fins rising up off top of the head. They seemed to be the one in charge. And then there was this priest, this priest, I don't know, but this holy figure that operated the ritual. And that one there, they spoke common, though crudely. And before speaking it, they seemed to cast a spell. I think I recognized it as a tongue spell. We could hear... almost sounded like a woman's voice, but it was so alien, it's hard to say. But she was speaking in our minds. She seems to be the holy figure in charge. I heard her name spoken. She when she spoke to us. It was Thadra, I believe. And I saw one other of those large Sahuagin with the 4 arms. This one had bluish skin. Seemed to be second in command to the main leader. That's all I really know.
Thank you, Stefan. I know you have suffered greatly. If it's any bit of comfort somewhere, that you would know that this information may save lives.
Of course.
I am so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. He kind of shakily sits down after divulging.
Chinor helps him.
Okay. Go ahead, Void.
I have some bits to add for the council. One is an opinion. So I have a question. Now that we know that most likely we would be approaching an island that was completely underwater, a fortress completely submerged, do you have enough forces that you could marshal enough magic potions that you could share, that an assault would be a viable option. And I will say, I can't speak for the group. I expect that I would be a part of that, and I would want to. So I wonder, what do you think, based on what you know?
Eleander stands up to address the group. And as he does, Stefan kind of looks up and raises a hand. I believe the island, however they're making it sink, it does take time. You may be able to act quickly before it's fully submerged. And Eleander looks over the rest of the group. I was thinking the same myself after hearing this full report. We may have to act quickly. We do not have the resources to equip each of us and all of our forces with the capability to breathe underwater. I think, unfortunately, we're going to have to execute this assault quickly. The lizard folk are quite adept under the waves. Same with the Lokata and the merfolk. Our initial yet shaky plan was to do a two-pronged assault with our forces up top, providing support, and now that we have the layout of that upper layer, that should give us quite an advantage. The Lokata, the lizard folk, and the merfolk were going to be assaulting under the waves. You identified one of the entrances that the lizard folk had already known about, and now that they know the forces waiting them there, that should give them a slight advantage. I am concerned, though, about this beast you speak of that they summoned.
Yes.
However you all provide support is up to you, but I can see a useful approach of you trying to get in ahead of the assault to intercept this beast. But I'm open to ideas.
That's a great idea.
Good.
Speaking for myself, though, we're probably gonna have to discuss it amongst ourselves, and then we'll agree with you. But we're gonna discuss it amongst ourselves, I reckon.
I would say that we should aim to do this assault within the next 3 days. Hopefully sooner.
And so then next, Chenar, go ahead.
Thank you, Ulrich. So Chinyar will stand up and she will say, there is something very important you should know. When we were fighting them, it seemed that they became more aggressive and powerful if we were injured. I'm telling you this because if you do send a force out, they need to be aware that if they are damaged in any way, they increase the power of their foe. Have clerics available to assist. She will sit back down.
Well, I might be able to get the old, the old codger up in the Temple of Valkyr. That's really the only cleric in town. I can go speak with the druid in the grove. They may be able to provide assistance. We'll do our best. Thank you for this.
You're welcome.
I'd
Anything?
add one
Yeah.
more bit. Well, actually two. I want to mention, I don't suppose praise matters, because right now things are quite serious. But what we went through in there, we came a short hair's distance from death many times. And if it were not for the subterfuge of Aspen, the thieving and scouting and otherwise bravery of Shifty, the ability to discern strange information.
Rin was there too.
I wasn't done. Yes, my friend. The ability to discern information and roast the Sawagan of my friend Aize. The healing and necromantic powers of Chenyar. And perhaps the greatest warrior of all, our archer and ranger Rin. she put her arrow through so many eyeballs that I couldn't even count. So, I want to let you know that there was really good work that was done in there that brought you this information. And these people should all be respected for it.
The
But
council.
I'll move on. Go ahead.
The council nods, and Ida reaches under her desk and pulls out a fat sack of coin, throws it on the desk. Yeah, Volric, we haven't forgotten. And we really do appreciate it. I know I can be a bit gruff, but truly.
And the last bit I want to say is if there's any way we can find out any more information about this symbol, about these spells that these priests are doing. They may have some terrible, terrible plans. It may be the classic version of us coming in to stop those plans, but if we have someone who could dissect it, give us more information, that might give us an edge, or at least an opportunity to survive.
The council initially turns and looks at Eleander, and then Eleander turns and looks at you, Aize. I think you have someone in your midst that might be able to decipher. And then he gestures down to the shells with the strange language written on the inside of it.
I will indeed sequester myself with these and have a translation ready.
And Aize, why don't you come by my place? I have a extensive library.
Oh, you said the L word. Oh,
You can,
I'm excited.
I think you and my partner will get along well.
Who said this, by the way, DM?
Eleander, the red-haired, broad-shouldered council member, he has a peg leg. He seems to be, you wouldn't know, but he does seem to be kind of in charge of whatever military is mustering up within Saltmarsh. All right. With that, as the coin is passed over, this meeting starts to come to a close. You are kind of informed that this assault will probably be happening within 3 days, but potentially sooner. You have a little bit of downtime to kind of gather your resources and figure out what you want to do next. So this is good. This is the moment when we only have about 15 minutes left here, but this is kind of the moment when it's like going to open it up to the group and see what people do. If I may make a suggestion, though, I wouldn't mind cutting first to Aize. Are you going to be casting like ritual comprehend languages to go through the shells, or what was your plan? Oh, you're muted.
I could do a fast cast of the comprehend language and do it right there in the council chamber, but I figure that will take too long to read.
Do you want to? It's up to you.
No, I think we'll take it aside.
Okay.
Offline, and I'll share it with the crew first before I share it with the council, and I'll just take notes and translate those.
Okay, so just to set the scene here, where are you gonna go to cast the spell and decipher these shells?
Back to Diora.
Diora, okay, so you go back into your chambers, sit down with the shells, and focus in on them with Archive at your side. Oh, good. And start to decipher the shells. Does comprehend languages? Does it reveal the language that it is, or it just reveals the word, like what is said?
1 sec, let me VTT it.
Okay, cool.
As he's doing that, Nathan, if you want us to roll our hit points at some point, because you said we're all going to be leveling up.
You are all going to be leveling up. Let's wait for the hit points until the very end of the show, just because that'll be a bunch of stuff happening. And yeah, Chinyar.
I did want to ask, so at the end of the council meeting, she will approach one of the council members, and she will say, Stefan needs to be escorted back to his home, and I'm wondering how we can best do that.
Sure.
But Stefan, I did have a request before you part.
Who do you approach? So the council members are, there is
The
Yeah.
peg-legged redhead.
Okay, Eleander Fireborn. Okay, so you approach him. Yes, of course, we can definitely get you down to Thornhold. I take it you'll want to go by land this time. And Stefan nods very enthusiastically. Monostrad, can you get... Yeah, I got it, darling, no worries. And she guides Stefan out of the room.
So Chinyar will give him 10 gold from her purse.
Okay.
And she will say to Stefan, we are about to go into a very precarious battle. I could not help but ascertain this armor's properties while you rested, and I believe it is Mariner's armor. I was wondering if you would be so kind as to let me borrow it for a time period. However, I cannot guarantee that it will come back safely if I pass.
Make a persuasion roll for me.
Okay.
On.
Oh, nice.
That's what we love to see.
Stefan says, yes, you're right. They would have wanted you to take this with you, to aid you.
If you give me the name and where your friend's family live, I swear I will return this to them.
Yes, we were all from Thornhold. If you head to Thornhold, you can, if you will look up,
Write it down. And then
Yes.
she will give him a quill and ask him to write it, and she will put it in her pocket, and she will say, I swear, and she will pull out her hand and grasp his hand like this and say, you have my word, sir,
you can
and safe travels.
you can head into the Styes district within Thornhold, and you can find the family of Rosalind. She was a half-elf. And he gives a description of the home and kind of where it is within the Styes. And as he finishes describing this, it sounds like a very busy city, very busy district. It sounds like the home itself is more of an apartment, smashed in between many buildings, and their home was on like the third floor of this structure, this 3-story structure. And he says, one thing though, if you go to Thornhold and go to the Styes, just be careful. It's not a great area. There's a reason that we all were doing such dangerous work.
I see. She reaches back into her pocket and she gives him another 10 gold and says, perhaps this will help his family, your friend's family, that I am borrowing this armor as
her
a
family, but thank you.
her family,
Thank you.
as a token of my gratitude for the loan of this armor.
Thank you. I'll let them know. And he takes the coin.
Okay, I will take 20 gold off of my
Yeah,
sheet.
perfect. So as that wraps up, it looks like Aize, you don't know the type of language. You're just able to read it. As you sit in your chambers and focus in on the tablets and start to read through this inscription. I'm gonna give you a breakdown here because this is pretty important stuff that's written on here. So okay. All right. So, as you start to read through these inscriptions, this seems to be essentially a manifesto, a very lengthy written document about this individual's dedication to a god that will consume everything, a god that will change the very face of Toril, and in doing so will create a new world in its own image. You see ramblings about how everything comes to an end and everything is decaying and everything must be consumed in order to create something new. And as you're reading through it, you see a name appear. It is not the name of Sekala. It is not the name of Umberlee. You see that this manifesto is dedicated to the chained god Tharizdun. You know of speakings of Tharizdun. Tharizdun is an ancient deity that is supposed to be long gone, locked away from this world, from this plane, with unable to exert their influence over this plane of existence. I would say you could make a religion check, or I would give you history to see if you know anything else about Tharizdun.
Would I be able to assist in any way?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming so. Aize said he was going to share all of this with the crew. So, Aize, do you share all this with the crew?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I got wait.
An 18?
Yeah,
Oh, did you see a different roll somewhere?
I thought I rolled an 18.
Oh.
No, I rolled a
It's
10.
an 18.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll say at this point, Aize, after translating this, you give all this information to the crew, and you're all sitting down in, we'll say, like kind of a common area of the ship, probably somewhere where you all have your meals. The crew has their meals together, and as you're having this discussion, oh, you know what? You're probably in the captain's quarters. That makes more sense. You're all in the captain's quarters having this conversation. Yeah, Chenyar, if you want to make a religion check, you can. As this is all being revealed. Aize, with an 18, all you know about Tharizdun is basically what I said. It's a very ancient god that there's not terribly much information about them other than that they were kind of locked away, and that's kind of all you know.
DM, was it a religion check or history? Because I thought you said it was
either one. You can do either one.
Okay. $15.
Yeah, I mean, you know just as much as Aize, which is not much. But this is essentially, yes, a manifesto dedicated to Tharizdun, and it kind of rambles, and you notice as you get deeper into it, it sometimes goes on these long tangents that almost repeat and repeat and repeat, as if they're stuck on the same phrase over and over again, and then they go into new topics.
So
Would I be able to? I'm sorry. Would I be able to make a religion check to see if I know anything in the religious aspect?
Yeah,
of it?
they made history checks, so you can make a religion check. And Aize, what were you going to ask?
No, I was assuming that the
Yeah.
I'm
assuming-
sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying that I think the writer's mad.
Yeah. A 20.
Not angry mad, as in mad.
A 24. Aspen, you hear this name spoken. You have a memory of, I think, one of the earliest conversations you had with your mother. And she was telling telling you a bit of her past and her mission and what she stands for. You know, to I think it was probably a conversation when you were kind of asking, you know, why she is where she is and why she does what she does. And as we see this conversation happening, it's just this, like you've always had it. It's this almost like disembodied porcelain face of your mother looming before you, with you, Aspen, just standing there small before her as she speaks to you in this dark void. She says, "Everything I do is in defiance of what Tharizdun has done to this world, to this realm that we find ourselves in. Tharizdun is a name that you should always remember, for they were the ones that brought about the very existence of the Abyss. They are the ones that brought in the foul presence of the demons and their chaos that they bring to our world. I will do everything to stop what they have done." And we are about at time here as you have this memory, Aspen. And as we finish here with all of you sitting within the captain's quarters, with this information coming to realization via Aize and Chenyar going over these documents. Before we end, I'll just ask Aspen, do you share that with the group, or do you keep it to yourself?
I will share that with the group.
So as Aspen shares this to you all, you come to realize what this deity may be, what this presence may be. And as we close out the evening here with all of you sitting in the captain's quarters, all of you get to level up to level 7. Yay! And let's just do a quick, at the very end of the evening here, let's do quick hit dice rolls. So I'm going to make this not super chaotic, I'm going to do our intro order, and we'll start with Chris, if you don't mind rolling your hit dice for us.
I believe Chris...
Are you doing average? Are you doing average, Chris?
I might be. Hold on.
If you're doing average, that's fine. We can keep it at that. If that's what you want to do, go for it.
I think Chris is going to take a level of barbarian, so you should roll your d12 this
That makes sense, yeah.
Sure, I'll take barbarian. No, I'm not. All right, so I just advanced it from 6 to 7, and just hit manage hit point. Wow, it just automatically jumped me to 44.
Okay, so you were probably doing average hit points. That's fine. We can keep it easy. Erica, do you mind rolling your hit die?
Yes, I'm looking at the thing though, and I'm not sure how I should.
You roll
just click the...
You roll a D8.
All right.
I thought it was a D10 for a ranger.
Oh, is it a D10 for rangers?
So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Roll a D10. I think you're right. Yeah, you're right.
This is why it helps to have your dad roll your sheet for you.
Nice. Okay, 5. Let's go next to Chenyar. Chenyar, are you rolling hit dice, or are you doing average?
I'm gonna roll hit dice, and I think it's the 1d8 plus my cleric level.
Plus your
con level.
Con mod.
Con,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. So let me roll. Where is the D8? Where's the D8? There it is. Roll. Yay!
Nice.
7.
7. Awesome.
Yay.
All right.
7.
Eric Volric, if you don't mind rolling your hit die.
I believe you said we re-roll ones, right?
You do re-roll ones. And what are you leveling up in, Bard or Fighter?
I was gonna go Bard, but I've sent a bunch of spellcasting nerds in my party, so I'm gonna have to go Fighter.
Okay.
Here you go. Only
a 3.
that does help educate what I need to do with my feet, though. So
Cool. All right, Aspen.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a d6.
So you're going sorcerer?
Yeah, sorcerer.
Go ahead and re-roll that one.
I hope I get a yes.
Oh! Nice.
Yes, and I
Awesome.
think, oh man,
Awesome. All right, let's go to Shifty. If I'm assuming you're doing rogue again.
Yeah, I guess so. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest.
Cool.
I guess I'll just click it here in the character manager. It already gave me a 5, but I'll do it again.
Oh, you got a 5? That's fine.
Here we go. I take this one. Did it show?
It did. It looks like
6.
you rolled a 6. Okay, excellent. Well, with that, let's end the evening. So thanks everybody for joining us. I'm excited you all get to level up, and we will see what happens next. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful
See you
evening.
next time in
Monday.
2 weeks.
Yes, please.
Hold
See you
on,
next year.
hold on, 2 weeks. We'll be back in 2 weeks. And
On Mondays.
yes, we're going to be back on January 2nd, Monday, January 2nd, and we're going to be streaming Mondays from now on, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific time, going to 9 p.m. Pacific. Thank you so much to our East Coast players, Amy, Space, and Shifty, Josh. Can't keep all the names.
Essential.
Yeah.
The real name.
Also, Chris, if you gotta bail, I know you have a flight to catch, so please don't. But anyways, thank you everybody. We will be streaming on Mondays next year. We'll see you all next year. Have a wonderful holiday and Happy New Year.
Happy holidays,
Bye.
everybody.
Happy holidays.